Page 5, skating. 4/4 time, we got eighth notes. So in 4/4 time, an eighth note gets half a count. Now I do it by counting 1 and 2 and. I put an and in between the number. So the beats are 1, 2, 3, 4. The eighth notes are 1 and 2 and 3. They go twice as fast. Well, let's look at the right hand first to figure out the notes on that, and then we'll do the left hand and see what happens. So I'm starting out down here. They don't give you any finger numbers. You have to figure it out. But if you'll take the first measure and all these notes, consider all these notes, you're kind of in this position. Because you can cover all these notes in one hand position, and that's really what we're after, if we can. So we're kind of in this position. So you're starting out with thumb on C, middle C there. That's 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You see that third measure there with those eighth notes? That's not just going up and down. Now you're kind of doing a squiggle in there. You're working the weak fingers. I like that. We need to do. Now, I would encourage you, if you're not yet, to go do my scale video on C major. Do the beginner part, 1 octave up and down. Learn the C major scale. I teach technique there. I don't teach a lot of technique in my videos because really to teach technique effectively, I need you in front of me so I can see what you're doing. Because I can explain it and I can demonstrate it, and you can take it all in and try it and get it completely wrong and not know it. And I've seen it happen. I've done it. I've seen it. So I need you in front of me so I can make sure you're really doing what I'm trying to get you to do. I try and teach it in the scale video, and you can do that, but I'm not using fingers. I'm not holding the hand still and trying to use the fingers to do that. That was a technique used a long time ago for harpsichords and clavichords and or different. It doesn't work on piano very well. I mean, there's times you may have to do it, but that normally you wouldn't do it. I'm using the weight of my hand and arm to push the notes down, and when I get this passage, I'm just kind of rolling the hand. I'm just transferring weight from one side of the hand to the other, and I'm just lowering whichever finger I need for the note. So right here, my weight's on the thumb. I'm going to transfer it over to the index finger. I just transferred the weight over. Now transfer it again, and again, and again. Now down. I'm just transferring. Boom. So when on the third measure here, I'm just transferring these from my fourth and fifth finger. I'm just transferring the weight back and forth. I'm exaggerating the motion for the camera so you can see it. The motion is actually a very little motion. You can hardly see it at all. But that's the idea, is I'm transferring weight. And I do that with pretty much everything I play. You see, it should never hurt. It should never be painful to play a piano. You should be relatively comfortable, unless you have a physical problem someplace and you need to see a doctor. Otherwise, playing piano should be stress-free. You shouldn't get overly fatigued. You shouldn't have any muscle strain anywhere. It should be a relaxed experience. And that's what we're after ultimately. Now on the left hand, we have a whole note down here, and again, they don't give you any finger numbers, so you don't know where to start. But if you look at the second measure, where you got all these notes, hold all these notes down at one time, and you got these here. Well, if I put my hand in C position, I can cover them all. So I'm just going to use C position, which means the whole note's going to be with little finger. So I kind of figure out what the fingering is. Whole note, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And then the last measure, the first line, is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Type thing. And again, I'm just shifting weight from finger to finger when I play. So when you can play this one hand at a time, okay, then put the hands together and see what happens. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 1 and 2 and 3. Like that. So you work out the whole thing. If you're hesitating anywhere, work out those spots and get rid of the hesitations. So the beat's got to be steady all the way through. We can do that. We go back and we add the slurs. Now, the slurring is getting tricky because you got slurs in each hand now, and they're not necessarily the same. So you're doing wah. So at the beginning, this is all slurred in the right hand. And then in the right hand, you got those dots. Those are staccatos. Just a nice, at the wrist, just bounce off the key. Bump, bump, but it's not a big motion. It's just a little motion. And then the left hand, you got to slur, you got to connect it. At the same time, this is one of the things you can practice when you're doing the C major scale, is try playing one hand disconnected and the other hand connected. And then switch them, do the other way. This is a good practice at developing the independence of the hands you're going to need to play the piano. This is good here on the second measure. Here, and then in the last measure you have staccatos in both hands, and then you have a tenuto for the half note. Just hang on to the half note as long as you can. I'm not sure why there's a tenuto there, but some people will treat a tenuto like an accent. And originally it was a sort of an accent. That's kind of died away somewhat, but you can give it a little extra if you want to. Just play just a hair louder. And then I would lift up the D before I play the next line, because it's like taking a breath. But the left hand is connected. Slur goes, see that slur goes all the way to the C, so I'm lifting one hand. So I'm lifting this, but not that. So work out this articulation here with the staccatos and the slurs and make sure you can do that. Then we can go back, and the dynamics, it's moderately loud. And really it's kind of both hands here, because both hands got things going on. You can play them the same, I think, on this one. Like so. And once you do that, then you can gradually speed it up. This says Allegro. Allegro's fast. But you have your fast, I have my fast. We all have our own fastest. You don't go beyond your speed limit. What can you play accurately? That's what you're after. So to me it's maybe, but these, they gotta be even. You know, don't blah. It's gotta be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so whatever your fast is, that's it. That's good enough. Don't. You get faster later on as you get better, but don't overdo it now. I would like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamic. There's no dynamic really given, and we're going to go really, really slow. But I will try and do the slurs and the staccatos to make sure we can do those. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's try it. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1.